Welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. So today, it's been kind of a lazy day. I had a doctor's appointment early this morning that was just a normal routine checkup for the year. And they gave me a flu shot, and it hurt pretty good, so it made me just kind of want to stay in bed for a lot of the day and not do a whole heck of a lot. But I went outside, dragged some hay around on my sled. If you're a farmer and you don't have a heavy-duty sled, you really should get one. I mean, you can drag hay in it over mud when it's nasty and gross. You can move animals that refuse to walk. For me, my sled's been my life. I love my sled. That being said, I've never gotten to ride in my sled yet because my husband thinks that it's too immature to pull me around in the sled when it does snow. So, whatever. I am drinking today out of my Krabby mug from David's Tea. And today's tea is, if it will focus on it. Alright, so it's not going to focus on it. So, it is, I have the tag, Fireside Mocha is what it is. And the ingredients are cocoa beans, apple, sugar sprinkles. Let's see. Chocolate chips, pink peppers, and natural flavoring. I don't really know what pink peppers have to do with Fireside Mocha, but the last couple of teas that I've had, for some reason, have had, like, pink peppercorns in them. And I'm not a real big peppery fan. I definitely don't like anything spicy, but I haven't tasted it yet, so I'm sure it's just adding an essence of something in there someplace. So I've done a little bit of knitting on my Dust of Snow wrap, and it's starting to get an angle. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on my 5th color right now. This pink with kind of green, and I think there's some little bitty gold speckles in there too on it. So it's coming along pretty good. And I have total sweater cast-on-itis. I mean, every time I look at Instagram, there's a new sweater that somebody's put out that I want to make. And today it was Stephen West put out, I'm trying to think what the actual name of it is, but I think it's something like the Brioche Yoka or something, a Brioca. It's basically a brioche sweater with like 2 or 3 different colors as it goes up with the brioche stitch. It's made in an Aran weight, which I have an Aran weight. That silky tube Aran that I was considering doing a colorwork sweater for, once I swatched for it, it didn't quite go as planned. So I'm starting to eyeball that. Have I ever done brioche? No. Why not start with a sweater? I mean, my first lace project was the Shipwreck shawl, and for those of you that know the Shipwreck, it's 2,000 yards of a fingering weight with roughly 1,500 to 2,000 beads applied to it. So, you know, start big, why not? So I want to cast on that. I want to spin I want to core spin 2,000 yards of an alpaca and make a sweater out of that. I want to do a colorwork alpaca sweater. And in reality, I have a sweater. I have a sweater I should be working on. And it's just not cruising as planned. In fact, it's the Even Flow by Joji Locatelli. And I think I'm to the point where the back's almost done even. Let me see if I can sort it out. So I'm using Madeline Tosh, I think Pashmina Sport in the Spectrum colorway. So like, see, I'm clear down to here. And I think literally all I've got to do is get from the arm, the total length that says to 19 inches. And I bet I'm actually pretty close. The problem is it obviously is not a vest. It's missing arms still. And the other thing that I'm running into the same issue I had with my, what was the one I just did? With my portage, there's a huge shawl neck. So I've got to do all of this still, and that is like 9 inches on each side. And it's going to take a ton of yarn. I've got, I think, a total of 7 balls for this, and I'm still on my first 3. Of course, then again, I was also 600 yards extra somehow on my portage. Who knows? I at least managed to highlight on this pattern what size I was doing, because, you know, that's always a good question. And I think I have actually written down where I'm at. So I know mentally I just need to finish this sweater, because then I can move on to bulky sweaters that will knit really fast and give me a lot of satisfaction. But I just need to finish it. It's being knit on size, looks like size 6s. So, and in reality, I mean, the hard part's done with all these little bitty cross stitches in the back. And I think it's going to be a really pretty sweater once it's done. I'm having to manage 3 balls because of how variegated it is. So every row I'm switching colors, which is kind of causing a pain in the butt. But I think I have to on this because of just how drastic the change is between the balls. So, I know. I just need to work on the sweater and not start 100 other sweaters, but I so want to. So tomorrow, I've got some people coming in the morning to learn about alpacas and see if it's something that they want to get into. Hopefully it won't be so freezing cold that we all die outside, and it won't be super muddy. It's starting to snow or spit snow right now. My event on Thursday, they're calling for a 50% chance of snow. That's really not going to help with people coming in to buy things, because they're going to have to drive across town and actually come to Ivy Tech University and vend, and see what all the vendors have. And there's going to be, I think, a little over 50 vendors, and my one complaint is that it only runs from 10 to 2, which most people who have money have jobs, and they aren't exactly free from 10 to 2 to come there. But it's not costing me anything to set up, except for the gas to get there, technically, and my time. So if I sell a couple pairs of socks, or hopefully a unicorn hoodie, since I just spent a couple of days making 3 of them, it'll pay for itself, but we shall see. It'll be an adventure. So that's all the thrilling excitement here for today, I guess. So tomorrow's podcast recording day, so I gotta sit down and think about what it is I've actually done in the last 2 weeks. And I need to get stuff labeled for this event, and I need to make a sign so that way people know, hey, I do impulse shopping, I do accept credit cards. So that way hopefully they'll spend a little bit more with me and not with somebody else. So that's about it for today, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.